Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. I am Harrison Graham, your host as always. Day one of NFL free agency starting to slow down as a lot of moves came down the pipeline earlier today. Certainly still some moves to come, but there's been a lot of Chicago Bears free agency rumors and news to address. Obviously, the big one earlier today, Larry Ogunjobi signing on that 3-year deal. If you missed that video, subscribe and check it out in the videos tab. But I wanted to catch you guys up on some more free agency rumors around the Bears. Let's get to story number one here. How about signing Jarvis Landry? Could it happen? I think it's a possibility. After the Cleveland Browns parted ways with him earlier today, there was some chatter that they would like to trade Landry after trading for Amari Cooper, but his cap hit of over $15 million that a new team would have to absorb proved to be too hefty, so ultimately the Browns released him earlier today on Monday, so he is now free to sign with other teams. A lot of teams are going to be in the mix for him. The Chiefs, the Bills, the Packers have all been linked to him. The Bears have reportedly, expected to have some interest in him as well. As far as would I be interested, I absolutely would be interested in Jarvis Landry. I think he could man the slot pretty well for Justin Fields. Now, he doesn't really fit the, young, explosive type of player that Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus talk about, but he's still young enough, about 29 years old. He's a good slot receiver. He's not going to give you a bunch of big plays, but he's going to get you some clutch plays, some third down, key situations, get open in key downs, and you need that to go along with your speedy guys like a Darnell Mooney. Allen Robinson still hasn't signed elsewhere. We'll see what happens with him. Marquise Goodwin, Damiere Byrd are free agents as well. I would like to bring back Jakeem Grant, but if you bring in Jarvis Landry to man the slot with Mooney as your outside guy, maybe you draft another outside guy, you could do worse than that. That's not too bad if you are the Chicago Bears. I expect this to be a vertical passing attack, but you need to hit some of those underneath passes as well, and that's where Jarvis Landry can help in some of those drags, crossing patterns, comeback routes, and those type of things. Should the Bears sign Jarvis Landry? Get your votes in down in the comment section. Type S for sign, type P for pass. If the price is right, I'm down because he's a vet, he's a pro, he knows how to play, and he's a really, really good route runner. Appreciate you guys for tuning in all day long, not only here on Chicago Bears Now, but on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel as well. If you are a diehard Bears fan, this is the channel for you. Hit that subscribe button. We will have you guys covered throughout 2022 NFL free agency. We're not even a day into this thing, guys, so buckle up in the words of a great disciple, and we will have you guys covered throughout NFL free agency. More Bears news and rumors to come here on Bears Now. All right, our next story, another receiver. How about signing Marquez Valdes-Scantling, the speedster from Green Bay, who obviously has the connection to offensive coordinator Luke Getsy, who came down from Green Bay. I think it could happen. Josina Anderson reported earlier today that the Bears are among teams that have shown interest in MVS. Now, he could be a guy that takes a couple of days, see what type of market he can get, as he hasn't made a ton of money in his career. He may take top dollar and see what's out there. The good news for the Bears is I don't think that will happen in Green Bay. He would likely have to go elsewhere to get top dollar. Now, I would be careful with him. I would not overpay for Marquez Valdes-Scantling, but if he's like your number 3 receiver as a speedster, you could do worse than that. Like, what if Mooney is on one side, Valdes-Scantling on the other, and Landry in the slot? Draft another receiver as well. It's not incredible, but it's clearly an upgrade from what you had a year ago when Allen Robinson did not perform, and beyond him and Mooney, you just had completely inconsistent play from the rest of your receiving corps, drops, bad routes, miscommunication. I think a Landry-Valdes-Scantling pairing to come in here with Darnell Mooney would actually be pretty darn solid for the Chicago Bears. I do think after the Ogunjobi signing earlier today, receiver and offensive line become areas of focus. Name a wide receiver that you want the Bears to sign. Juju Smith-Schuster's still out there. Christian Kirk is not. We'll talk about him later. DJ Chark is still available. Allen Robinson, if you want to bring him back. Who would you like the Bears to sign? Maybe you want MVS, Jarvis Landry, Allen Lazard is still available. Plenty of names to keep an eye on throughout NFL free agency. How about Lyle Collins? Let's shift to the offensive line now. How about signing him? Now, for now, he's under contract, but Calvin Watkins, who covers the Dallas Cowboys for the Dallas Morning News, reported this a couple of hours ago. Source said it's doubtful the Cowboys can trade La'el Collins, and a release is probable. Let's see what happens. So certainly nothing official there. We'll see what plays out. We saw Amari Cooper. They were able to at least get something in a trade for him, so a team could step up and trade for him, maybe the Bears. I wouldn't expect the Bears to trade for him, but if he becomes available in free agency to sign, I would love Collins in Chicago. Now, he's had some off-field concerns, had a suspension last year, but he's a good right tackle in the NFL. If this new regime thinks Teven Jenkins can play left tackle, maybe you leave him there. You put La'el Collins at right tackle. Maybe you kick Larry Borom inside at guard. Of note, by the way, James Daniels has not signed with the team yet, so, he could still be an option to bring back. Should take the carrot off Mustafa there. That's my mistake. He has been tendered, so he is back, but I still think the Bears could upgrade at center. More on that later on as well. But if you bring in Collins in here, you pair him up with Teven Jenkins, I think that's a solid duo. Again, if this new regime believes that Jenkins can play left tackle, because I don't think signing Collins and putting him at left tackle is a great idea. He has not played much left tackle at all in the NFL, but it's unclear what this regime feels about Jenkins and his prognosis as a potential left tackle or a right tackle. Quick reminder, free agency is hot and it's getting even hotter. This is why you subscribe to Bears Now. Rumors, news, contract signings, free agency tracker. We'll cover it all here on Bears Now. When the Bears make a move, we'll cover it here on this channel. All right, wanted to hit this story too. Mitchell Trubisky signed with the Steelers earlier today. Contract details unclear, 2 years, money to be determined as we film this. I'm going to guess 10-ish million per year, so maybe 2 years, 20 million, maybe 12 to 15 guaranteed. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe he gets more, 2 years, 25, who knows. My main thoughts are good for Mitch, number one. I hope he makes it work, and I think Pittsburgh's probably about as good as he could do. I think he'll start there. I think he'll get an opportunity to prove himself as a starter in this league once again. Could be his last opportunity to prove that he is starting caliber. The Buffalo Bills certainly they were campaigning like politicians to get Trubisky a starting job in the NFL, and it appears that will be the case. I think he will start over Mason Rudolph and or Dwayne Haskins in Pittsburgh. So good for him. Curious to see how that all ends up playing out, and this time next year, what we're saying, both around Mitchell Trubisky and for Justin Fields as well. Now, I didn't want to mention 3 notable free agency signings because I think these are 3 guys that the Bears could have had some interest in, especially these first 2 guys. They were connected to both. Christian Kirk, my God, 4 years, $72 million, up to $84 million in incentives, $18 million per year base, up to $21 million per year. That is criminal. That is a massive overpay. I am glad the Bears did not do that. Brian Allen, 3 years, $24 million. That's a good deal for both sides. I would have paid that for Allen. I might have even gone 3 years, 30. I think he probably took a little less to stay with the defending champion Rams. Good for him. I would have loved him in Chicago, but he stays in Los Angeles. And then Cedric Wilson, he gets a nice little payday. He goes from Dallas to Miami, 3 years, $22.8 million. Could have been kind of a second-tier wide receiver target for Chicago as a speedy slot guy, but he lands with the Dolphins. So a couple of the receivers that Chicago could have signed are now off the market, but again, DJ Chark and others are still available to sign. Juju Smith-Schuster. We'll see what Chicago does at that position. Who will the Bears sign next? Only one notable signing so far. It was a good one, though. Larry Ogunjobi earlier today on Monday. What will be the next move? Predict it for us down in the comment section and let us know. That's all for now here on Chicago Bears Now. If you want more up-to-date information, give me a follow on IG. It's at HGramNFL, at HGramNFL. Enjoyed the Sunday night Instagram Live, and hey, we'll cook some more up in the future once we cross 3,000 followers on Instagram. We're at 2,600 or so. Let's get to 3,000, and we'll do another IG Live in the near future. Appreciate you guys for supporting. More videos to come as the Bears make moves during free agency.